Number 14, I already know I'm about to get tons of hate for this, but the Meacham family from Iron Fist. People are always talking trash about Iron Fist. Thing about it is, I mean, I like the performance, I just didn't like the writing of Iron Fist. I didn't have a problem with the fight scenes, but other people did. But oh, by the way, I'm not including Davos or whatever his name was. I think it was Davos. I'm not including him because he's really an ally who turns villain. He's probably gonna be a villain of season 2, so he doesn't really count. If you think about it, it goes from one villain to another, like the next villain. It just goes down the line, and everyone in their family becomes a villain. It's like they all start off, and it's like they're not really villains. It's just like they just don't really accept Danny. So it goes from Ward being the villain. He's like the dick, but he's not really like too much of a villain. And then like he's getting into this heroin. Then he has some redemption. And then his dad, I forgot his Harold, becomes the villain of the story. And then the Hand comes around, takes that villain spot for him. And then at the end of the season, they're like, oh, Joy's the next villain. Joy and Davos, watch out for them. And then Gal's listening. Gal's she cooking up a scheme. She in the kitchen like this. In the kitchen, it's put some like stuff. Yeah, that's her. Number 13, we got Zemo from Civil War. Should he have been lower? I think the only reason he's this high is because he's a normal guy and we can get exactly where he's coming from. What did he do though? Like, how did he get all that information? That's what I want to understand. But he was someone who had a family member who died in a, like, if you just imagine like all the destruction that happens when the Avengers like fight. But it's like if the Avengers didn't fight, it would be worse. Like what? But you can get where he's coming from, and that's the only reason why he's higher on the list. Number 12, we got Ego. Now, you can kind of get where he's coming from. He's very powerful. And he's very developed, and that's why he's, towards the good. But he's not like, neither of those categories is he like, oh my god. Well, maybe powerful, but it's like, you have to be at his planet for him to be like that powerful. Other than that, you go to Earth and he can't really like do much until like he does this expansion. But he needed a kid who can handle it, and Peter was gonna be the one, and he's like, nah, I'm good. Now, number 11. This is another one I'm gonna get hate for. I don't really like this movie, and I don't really dislike it. But Avengers: Age of Ultron, people shitted on it, but I'm like, I see nothing wrong with Ultron. I like him. I feel like they could have done more with him. That's the only thing. Like, I'm like, bro, this is an AI, so like he should be able to like flood the streets with money and create riots. Whatever you try to do, especially Tony Stark, he could just like take it over. Like Tony Stark is powerless. I'm thinking, all right, that's pretty clever, but he just makes a whole bunch of robots, and I'm like, okay, if you say so. But I like the performance. The only reason why it's not higher is because you can't really see where he's coming from. That's the only reason he's not like really a great villain. It's just like he's very threatening. He could have been more threatening. Now, number 10, we got the last one in the good category. We got Billy Russo from the Punisher series. It was a good performance. There was a good development between him and Frank. He was a badass. And then reasons why he's much higher than I thought he was going to be is because just like, it's kind of like the governor from The Walking Dead, where it's like, in the comics, you look at the governor from the comics, you're like, I don't trust you. But you look at the governor from the show, you're like, alright, I could kind of get behind him. That's the same thing with Billy Russo. I could kind of get behind him. And then some of the times, it's like after you figure out, like, oh, this guy, he ain't what it seems. After you figure that out, then you're looking at other characters like, are you stupid? But then you gotta realize, hold on, you thought he was a good guy at first. Most likely. Now let's get into the great category, which is having 9. This is 9 through 1. These are the villain. This is how villains should be. Number 9, we got Brainwashed Winter Soldier. Now, for a while, it was only Winter Soldier, and Loki. And Winter Soldier, he wasn't really Winter Soldier. He's a villain of the Captain America, the Winter Soldier, but he's not a villain. Like it'll kind of be like Siler from Heroes. He was a villain. Well, his power kind of made him evil, so that doesn't really count. Disclude the prequels, and you just have Darth Vader, and then he does the good thing at the end. He's still a villain. He just did the good thing at the end. Number 8, we got Kingpin. I ain't gonna lie. Some moments the acting was kind of cringe. And like just I don't know. Like he just like I don't know how to explain it. He was just I don't know. It was just kind of cringe at moments. But like his character was a shit. And the season he was in was fire as shit. Now, number 7, we got Hela. Now, this is probably one of the most slept on villains. But, like, she's the goddess of death. And, that dynamic with, her being Thor's sister was done well. And then, like, off rip, he spawns in. She's a level 1. Thor throws the hammer. She's just like, yeah, get that out of here. You're level 1 too, man. Then Loki instantly is just like, alright, I'm not messing with her. Take us back. He should have just took the L. Yeah, number 7, Hela. There's not really much to say about her. Number 6, we got Killgrave, Jessica Jones, Season 1. Alright, Killgrave, like, it's very interesting because, like, Jessica Jones, it's like, you can't have, like, a super duper strong character because it's just like, well, why doesn't, like, a low-key Avenger, like, maybe, like, Captain America go against them, or, like, Spider-Man or something, and then it can't be, like, too weak where it's just like, well, Jessica Jones can, like, one-man punch that person, like, that's the perfect, like, in the middle where it's like, oh, you can kill them easily, but it's just, as soon as you try to punch them, he's like, yeah, stop, and you have no control over it. And then, I like how towards the end they made that dynamic where it's like, he can't even, like, be, he can't say anything, like, rhetorical or, like, what's that word, sarcastic. Like, he can't just be like, well, I don't really say this, but, like, people be like, oh, kill yourself. Well, when he jokes and says that, they actually kill themselves. Oh, y'all be like, oh, suck my dick. Well, guess what? They walking over, they on their knees already. It's like that. Like, that was really an interesting dynamic. The performance was great. The series was great. Jessica Jones Season 1 was really slept on. I don't know about Season 2, but Season 1 was slept on. Number 5, we got Cottonmouth. We got 2 brothers in the top 5. We on our way up. Cottonmouth, he was carrying Luke Cage Season 1 on the back. He was about to get those Judas bullets, I think they're called. It was about to be lit. Then they gotta introduce Diamondback. Okay, have Diamondback, have him the side character. Stop introducing Netflix series. Stop introducing a main villain, then introducing a side villain, then kill off the main villain, then make the side villain the main villain. That's not how it works. Like, within like 5 or 6 episodes, however long he lasted, he was already developed. He had the interesting dynamic with Mariah. And he was about to be a threat when he got those, those Judas bullets. But of course, they had to be like, nah, you thought a black character was about to get a fire season all the way around. No, the only one who gets that is Daredevil Season 1. Season 2 almost got it, but they did the same thing they did with Luke Cage. It was like, we don't want to seem like we're biased here. Now, number 4, we got Vulture. Now, Spider-Man Homecoming was the first movie. Like, and it's funny, ever since Infinity War and Black Panther came out, people just stopped talking about Vulture. I'm like, what? Like, hold on. Yeah, before Infinity War, he was in the top 3. So it's like, alright, before Spider-Man Homecoming, And by the way, the next movie better not be Spider-Man Homecoming 2. I felt like this movie should have been called Spider-Man the New Avenger, because go Captain America First Avenger, then Spider-Man the New Avenger. I felt like that would have worked perfectly. But that's just me. But I thought Spider-Man Homecoming was just like, you got the only ones that have numbers is Iron Man, but it's not Iron Man. It's not Iron Man Billionaire 1, Iron Man Billionaire 2. No, it's just like Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2. And you got Thor the Dark World, Thor Ragnarok, Captain America the First Avenger, Captain America the Winter Soldier, Captain America Civil War, Avengers Age of Ultron, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Untitled Avengers film. And then you got Ant-Man, and then you got Ant-Man and the Wasp. Don't make it Spider-Man Homecoming 2. That's corny, bro. I'm gonna be triggered. Just have Spider-Man, then its name. Don't. If you was gonna have it, just Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, even though people are getting confused. Just put it Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Junior Year. I don't know, whatever you want to put it, something. I don't know, because I don't know the storyline. But Vulture, you can really see where he's coming from. He was like the cleanup crew. This man put all his money into it, and then they're like, nah, Tony Stark, he got this. He bought all of this. I don't care if you spend your money. Get him out of here. And then they snuck some of the equipment. Then he's just trying to make money. He's trying to support his family. And then you get that interesting dynamic with, bro, no one expected that to be his daughter, bro. The girl Peter was crushing on. I know her real name is Laura. I don't remember her character's name. But everyone in my theater was like, oh my bruh. Like, everyone was like gasping at that moment. That's like that's the first time I ever heard like a gasp, like a surprise feeling from the audience. I either hear laughing, clapping, or woo. That's all I like really ever hear in theaters. But that's the first time I heard like people like shocked. I haven't heard people cry. I think I heard people sniffing at I ain't gonna spoil it. There's a scene in Infinity War, but y'all know what I'm talking about. But number 3, we got Loki. Now, he's probably at the top, at the most developed villain, but he had all these films to develop himself. He has a great performance. Tom Hiddleston, he's killing it. Most quotable line in the whole MCU, I've been falling for 30 minutes. I don't know, I just love that. I love that line. I don't know why. It's just like he just falls. I've been falling for 30, bro. I just love that line, bro. I just love everything about it. Everyone in my theater started dying laughing. Towards like the end of Ragnarok and in the beginning of Infinity War, he became a real one. That's Loki's one I could have used when I was talking about the Winter Soldier. Like, Loki will always be considered a villain because he had blah blah blah. Like, he wasn't mind controlled. The Winter Soldier was mind controlled. If he wasn't mind controlled, he would never do any of the things that he was doing. But Loki, he's one who's like, a villain who became good. But he's still not gonna like be considered a hero. I don't consider him a Avenger or a Guardian of the Galaxy. I don't consider him a hero. Number 2, we got Thanos. Now, some people put him number 1. Like, it seems like, wait, hold on. Alright. When Black Panther came out, oh, this is their first villain. It seems like people get amnesia when they watch a film. It's like, this is, hold up, Spider-Man Homecoming. This is their first villain since Loki. Alright. That's the only time they didn't get amnesia. The first good villain since Loki. And then you get the Black Panther. Their first good villain. What happened to... Oh, Loki doesn't count. what happened to Vulture? Vulture, who's that? Like, it's like they get amnesia, and then soon as like Black Panther came out in February, Infinity War came out in May. Then you watch Infinity War and you're like, oh, this is the first good villain. What about Killmonger? No, forget about him. What about Vulture? No, who's that? What about Hela? Nah, she's top 10, but like, nah. Okay, alright, what about Loki? Nah, he don't count. It's just like, alright, so Thanos, you get where he's coming. The only reason, alright, there's a couple reasons why he's not number one. One is because to this day I still don't get why he thought he loved Gamora. Like, there's no indication of someone like why look at her and be like, I'm gonna spare you, I'm gonna raise you, and then all the time she's like, bro, I hate you. Like, where does he get like, okay, this is my daughter, we you know, it's a complicated relationship, but we deep down really love each other. Even though she started crying, I ain't crying, I'm hitting you with these, slit throat, all of that. But it's a Marvel movie, they can't do all of that. Well, if they do it, they gotta do it on screen. Like, they can't show all the blood. Like, when Killmonger execute a baby girl, kinda forever, get him out of here. There was no blood. But he got all this, you know, this hype since 2012. He been in like 3 end credit scenes, and then he was in Guardians of the Galaxy for like 5 minutes. So it's like he kind of got built up, and you know, it was good payoff. Like, we knew what was coming when we saw the movie. Well, we didn't really know, but like, we knew like what basically what the story was about. Excuse me. He was trying to get, you know, the Infinity Stone. Now, of course, number one is, you know, Killmonger, and that's because good performance. You know, basically everyone in a great list had good performances, good writing, good directing, and then he basically you really saw where he's coming from, but we're gonna get to that in a minute. You basically, he did what he did, and you understood what he stood, and he was developed in one movie. There was no scenes promoting him. Civil War, they didn't talk about any of that. He had no end credit scene in Civil War. It was just, he was introduced. You showed, and then you showed why he felt a certain way. When you look at America and then you see all the things happening to black people, then he walks up in Wakanda and it's like, oh, y'all just chilling. We over here, well, you look like us in that country. You ain't anything, but y'all over here literally royalty, and y'all have, you know, the tools to help us out. And also, you know, his pops saw it that way, and then his pops got the you know, the panther claws in the stomach, and by his own brother. That's tough. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. If I forgot anyone, let me know in the comments down below. It's probably because I don't really consider them a villain, or they were kind of irrelevant. I don't think there's really a villain that I missed. And also, let me know your top 5 list. Give me your top 5, or if you want to, you can do the whole thing. I got 32 villains up here. You can just write them down and then rank them and put them in the comments if you want to do that. But just, hey, top 5 is all I'm asking for. That's gonna be it for this video. If you like the video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, share with your friends. Stay tuned for the next video. It's Austin Taylor Moore, and I'm out. Peace.